I'm David Hensley. Welcome to Long Walk Productions' very first podcast. As far as I'm aware, we're calling it Long Talk Productions. That may not stick, so don't get attached to it. Here with me are Zade Patterson.
I'm Zade Patterson. He just said that.
And...
Oh, I guess I have to introduce, I'm Chris Rinehart.
That's Chris Rinehart, and we're currently recording the first part of this for the second time.
Someday this is going to be put very, very prominently over the Long Walk banner. But rule number one, remember to turn the mic on.
Well, hopefully one day we'll reach a point in which we're in our own little recording studio with a little blinking light that will say recording, so we know that the damn mic is on.
That'll be on the employee handbook. It's just remember to turn the mic on.
Yes.
Have t-shirts that say just turn the mic on, please.
So because of all that, I'm going to give the spiel that I have to give a second time now and try to do it as closely to the first as I can. We are currently in production for our very first feature film, a film noir detective story called Too Old to Die Young, starring Chris O'Neill of Shakespeare, Carolina. And in order to complete our budget for that film, I have started a Kickstarter. So if you would like to find out more information about the film, and if you feel like contributing, you can go to our website, longwalkproductions.com, or you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/longwalkprod, P-R-O-D. Now, because having a website and having a Facebook page aren't enough these days, we also have a Twitter that you can follow. That's Zade's Twitter impersonation. Thank you, Zade.
Twitter's there.
You can follow us at LongWalkPro. So that's our website, Facebook, and our Twitter. You can also, if you would like, follow us on Tumblr,
Yes,
where we are www.longwalkprod.tumblr.com.
So feel free to follow us and talk about privilege and such.
Yeah, some trigger words. And now for the final one, because those four things aren't enough. That's a website, a Facebook page, a Twitter, and a Tumblr. Earlier today, I started a Facebook page for the movie itself, Too Old to Die Young. I'm going to keep saying that until it's stuck in your heads. So you can find that
You
as
just
well.
have Zade just start whispering it low in the background.
Yeah, we're going to work that in subliminally. It's going to be like the demon's face in The Exorcist. So that's my story about our first film. If you'd like to contribute, you can look us up. I've talked for about 3 minutes straight now, so I'm going to turn it over.
That's our time. Gotta go.
Oh, well, look at that. No, we're going to bore you for about a half hour today. See if anyone besides our family and friends are actually going to listen to this. And if so, for how long?
You can get the neighbor's cat.
Well, as long as you remember to turn the mic on, we'll be in good shape.
Mic's on, Chris. Shut up.
I'm not just saying it's you. I'm saying that I've made that mistake.
Yeah.
I've never made that mistake, except 3 times.
All right, so now I'm going to hand this over to you guys and let you be entertaining for a little bit. Go for it.
And this is where...
And please stay tuned for 30 minutes of dead air. Well, yeah, I thought we would just have a general chat today because I have absolutely nothing prepared.
We're kind of going on a wing and a prayer here.
Oh, I can
We're
tell
really
you.
hoping that you guys will be really drawn in by our witty banter and the charisma that all three of us have. And the soothing sounds of our voices.
This is just a reminder that actors are paid liars.
That's almost
true.
literally true. Yeah.
No, I'll start the story with something that actually interesting that happened to me yesterday, which was I woke up to the sound of a literal wake-up call. 9:30 yesterday morning, I hear...
By the way, if you just heard me burp, this is a really good microphone, and I'm very sorry about that. Continue, Chris.
I don't know how I can top that. I guess I'll just stop there. No, I hear what sounds like a truck, like a garbage truck, just like pulling up in front of my apartment.
Right.
I hear it's like a rumble, like almost like hydraulics.
Oh, wow. Really?
Like it rumble and then, And
You didn't hear like a Spanish.
no,
Okay.
it wasn't sort of local taco truck passing
Oh,
by.
okay.
By the way, for those of you at home who don't know him, Zade Patterson is a voiceover artist.
Actors are paid liars. I just do it with talking.
Which is almost literally the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm laying there and I'm like, it's fine, it's a truck, nothing. And then the part of my brain, which is a lot of it, that decides to torment me. Like this is the part of my brain where if I'm expecting a package to arrive, and I've lived in my apartment for like 4 years at this point, not like 4 years, 4 years at this point, and every time I'm waiting on a package to arrive, and I'm thinking like, oh, it didn't show up today. And then there's that part of my brain that goes, maybe it did and someone stole it. It hasn't happened, ever.
And you never go to sleep because of it.
Ever. And I'm just thinking, oh God, it didn't show up. It did show up. Someone took it. It's gone. It's stolen. It's gone forever. Shut up!
This has been Paranoia with Chris Rinehart.
It's neurotic, and it's never going to stop happening to me. My brain likes to troll me constantly.
Yeah.
Like I leave and I go somewhere, and I lock the door. Or again, you do it on autopilot.
Oh,
you
yeah,
just do it, and you go, and then I'm down the road, and I'm like, did I lock the door? I locked the door. Did I lock the door?
Oh, that's all right. I turned around and had to come back here yesterday afternoon because I was pretty sure I had left the front office door unlocked.
God.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And most because it only
Turns
takes.
out I didn't.
Well, it only takes one time for you to be paranoid about it forever. And it's just so that part of my brain finally keeps me up enough to the point where it's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go look. It's just a truck. I'm being stupid. I open my door, and there's a tree like right beside the porch to my apartment.
Oh, whoa.
Big tree, because all around Rock Hill there are just like big trees. And a branch has come down under its own weight.
Oh, whoa.
Just that was the sound I heard. That was the sound of a branch just falling down and collapsing out of the tree.
Yes.
And I just stared there and stood at it.
You stared there and you stood at it.
That's how awake
I sat my breakfast.
That's how awake I was. That was about how, if I were articulate, that's what it would sound like. So I just looked at it and was like, well, and I called my landlord and I let her know what was up, and it got cleared away. But I was looking at it later before I went to work, and I realized how lucky I was, because the branch was big enough that when it fell, it hit quick. Like it hit the ground fast and propped itself up.
Oh.
Because right underneath the crook of where it fell are the power lines that connect to my house.
Oh my
like
gosh.
Safely tucked right underneath there.
Oh, man.
And the only thing it took out was my mailbox. It's like I just imagined God up in heaven with like a scope.
I'm sorry.
Oh, what?
What?
I imagine God up in hell.
Shh. Don't tell.
Wow.
Yeah.
This got dark.
It's not dark. Heaven. I meant to say heaven.
It's not dark in heaven.
I was thinking of something else that we'll get to later, but no, I was like up in heaven with a scope going, I don't miss twice. It's
6 strikes, you're out.
It's like really, you just stare at that. It's like, wow, that could have been so much worse. It's just
Well, thank you for listening to the one and only Long Walk Productions podcast after that exhilarating story from Chris Barnes.
What? Oh, yeah, I killed the podcast. It was me.
Well, I mean, I was looking up the pictures. Did you just like take those pictures?
Yeah, I took those. I sent those to my landlord to let her know what had happened.
Yeah, that was a huge branch.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
and it's one of those trees that are like the ones that are like, well, we can't cut it down because it's history.
Well,
right?
No, it's on private property
now.
Well, thankfully, it's on private property, so it can't be taken care of.
It's not history; it's your street. Your tree.
It's fortunate because it's like she's had to take down like 2 different trees in around the house because of issues like that, like
right, just being close to power lines.
Oh yeah, and the trees have just been old, and it's just like one massive branch goes down, and then it's like, okay, whole thing's got to go.
And hollowing it out.
And that's got to be it, and it's just old, and it's probably just dying.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame too, because there's so many really nice
really
trees.
good trees, yeah.
Yeah, and around all around the city. It's one thing I like about living in Rock Hill is like there's nice big trees everywhere.
They should call it the Tree Hill.
Which
Tree Hill. Shut up!
I've got this now.
Oh no! Great. Now we're gonna be like every other rock. Never mind. Rock. No. Oh, 4 a.m.
Pun.
so
Oh.
so that's so with that grand opening, it's not going to be all weird, awkward personal stories. That's just going to be like 30 to 40% of it.
It's just going to be 7 minutes of awkward personal stories.
Hey, that's 7 minutes we don't have to fill anymore.
That's true.
I'm sorry, in 3 of those minutes, well, actually, I'm sorry, 6 of those minutes were you talking about Long Walk.
That's true.
And 3 of them were recorded.
Well, speaking of trees falling down,
Do you have a sound clip of you saying "Shut up, Chris" on?
I should.
They don't listen to me.
I'm sorry. Yes, Zade,
yeah.
you're here too.
Were you there that night? And I'm done, folks.
That's my time.
It was that night at Romeo and Juliet production where that
Mhm.
huge. Like,
Oh yeah,
branch-
no, I was there.
Yeah, you
I
were
was
there?
there for that one. Yeah.
Crushed a car.
Yeah, it crushed a car and a truck that was like stopped at the stop sign with people
Yeah.
in it and stuff.
Yeah, it scared the hell out of all of us.
Because I just remember we were backstage, well, kind of.
I thought lightning had hit. Honestly.
Yeah.
It sounded like lightning.
Well, at first I thought it was like a firework or something like that, and I was like, oh, went through it, probably, but it was like crack, and I was like, oh, what was that? And I look up, and I see just in slow motion this huge branch just go, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. And then I was like, wait, we just finished Romeo and Juliet. There are people leaving that way. And so that's when I was like, oh no!
Shakespeare's not content to just leave the tragedy on the stage.
It's not enough for 6 people to die during the course
Right.
of the show. He wants to get a few more afterwards.
But yeah, it was just really crazy because, like, I'd seen trees fall down and stuff because my dad goes in the backyard with his shirt off and just saws like a big tree and then pulls it down. And like, I'm used to things falling on me and stuff, but just seeing that was just horrifying because of how huge that branch was, and just knowing that all these trees are the same age, technically, and a lot of them have been falling down to where it's getting to where Winthrop's probably going to have to cut down the rest of them that are around that same age just because of, well, I blame the squirrels. The squirrels are terrible.
That's
with
Rock
that-
Hill policy.
Squirrels are trash. You heard it here first.
Oh my god.
We get a bunch of calls in. They're like,
They don't know our numbers. That's my only concern.
oh, squirrels, they
That's
can't
the logic.
phone.
That's my only concern. They don't have our numbers.
A little bit of more shameless cross promotion here. The 3 of us also work with a Charlotte, North Carolina and Rock Hill, South Carolina based classical theater company called Shakespeare Carolina.
It's mustard based.
Alright. And Shakespeare Carolina is run by the aforementioned Christopher O'Neill, who is the lead in Too Old to Die Young. See how I just looped that back around? You're welcome.
I'm surprised you found time with all the rim shots you weren't playing.
You were like Superman. You just made time go backwards. Oh, hi! It's right on my joke. Ha
Yeah, I'm going to keep that going. The thing about the 3 of us, and about pretty much everyone else we know that's involved in the arts around here, and I'm imagining, unless you're in New York or LA and you're a union actor, we all have multiple jobs. Chris and I both have day jobs, and Zade too. We all work
he
here.
included you.
Yeah.
Yay!
You're welcome, Zade. Everyone in Shakespeare Carolina, we don't have the luxury of just getting to be one thing.
Which is good, because we have a lot to bring to the table, if anything.
Yeah.
Like accounting.
I like how you said I work for them too. I just show up and you tell me to carry things, and that's
Yeah, that's working.
He's such a good boss.
Here, take this over there. Oh, okay.
Going along with our awkward personal stories, things keep happening that remind me that I'm an adult. And I don't know if this still happens to the two of you or not. I'm 28 years old. I've technically, I suppose, been an adult since 18.
Sure, I've been 28.
And occasionally something will happen that makes me go, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to be doing adult things now. Like one of our other partners at Long Walk, Stan, who is producing this film that we're doing, came by the office yesterday to do an audit. And when he told me this, I sat back and went, all right, we're doing an audit. I've never done that before. It's this horrifying, mystical thing that I keep hearing about from other adults. I guess I'm one of them now. So he came by and we spent 30 minutes going over all of our expenses for the business account. Which turned out to be perfectly fine, and we're currently under budget, but I still sat here.
Well, that's the thing that
It's
most people forget. I think because they hear the scary version, which is the IRS coming in and doing it. But that's all an audit is you just come in and you account for everything you're spending money on.
Yeah.
The most used sentence you say is, "That's not mine." And then, yeah. Anyway.
In business or in general?
Oh. Whatever. Thank you.
Well, from now on, this is no longer the rim shot generator. This is the awkward silence filler.
Oh, fine, whatever.
Dead air, go for the symbol.
Yeah.
Great. We're just about 30 more sound effects away from being a radio station.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. What does this podcast need more of?
Monday. And then just a bunch of Family Guy references.
And air horns.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's not just going to be all weird stories like I was saying. It's like we're going to try and do different things, talk about things that interest us or don't, or things, because I think we get a lot more mileage out of things we hate.
Mm-hmm.
And considering that we are primarily a multimedia company, the more we do these, the more we're going to branch out. And I like, specifically out of all the ideas that you pitched to me when you first brought up this idea of doing a podcast, Chris, I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted by all the new likes that are coming in for yet another page that the Too Old to Die Young page. When Chris,
oh my God, I need a minute alone.
When Chris pitched me the idea of doing this podcast, he included a list of ideas for things fill time with, and one of those was the outside the comfort zone that I particularly loved.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting or fun or...
Oh yeah, it's going to be one of the most frustrating things to do, but the more fun to talk about. The idea is, like I love to read, you two love video games, we all love movies really,
right.
But take something that take a movie we would normally never watch, like a rom-com. Take a book that none of us would never ever read, like 50 Shades of Grey.
Or all of them.
And we take the 2 weeks between podcasts and actually read or watch or play the game that you would never play, and then we come and talk about it.
Uh-huh.
Whether we ended up liking it and surprised ourselves, or whether we hated it every bit as much as we thought we were going to hate it, which I can almost guarantee is going to happen with a lot of these things.
More than likely.
So let's brainstorm. Well, I already threw out 50 Shades of Grey. Who wants to read that and come back and give us a report on it?
If anything, I could do it.
The straight white male's report on...
Straight 5'8" single ladies. And... Oh, that doesn't help that I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey. Research.
Zay, do you want to take that one on?
What? Yeah, I can. Yeah.
You don't have. You
Now,
can
here's
say
the
you're
thing,
allowed
though.
to say no. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, because I can almost guarantee we're going to hate all of these things. I don't want any of us to actually have to go out and purchase them. So do you know anybody who owns 50 Shades?
Oh, I probably know a lot of people.
All right, if you can get a hold of it,
Didn't your mom write a book?
Oh, I wish this was a video podcast. Dave's face is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, my mom wrote a book. Thank
Really,
you.
I would have expected the
Say.
sound of a gunshot to come through.
Shameless advertisement.
Yes, shameless. All right. Yes, my mother is an author. She wrote a romance novel. I have read it, and it is nowhere near what I understand 50 Shades of Grey to be about. Mainly because there's no BDSM in my mom's book.
Oh.
So, you know.
I'd hate to beat any SM.
Thank you for that derailing up there.
That was just Marquis de Sade.
Why'd you have to do that after I've gone away from the... I'm trying to find more sound
Because
effects.
comedy is all about timing, Dave.
All right, go on and
It's not planned.
make that pun again.
That was just Marquis de Sade.
Yes.
There you go.
Hang on, I have to go take my victory lap.
Oh, dear Lord. So Zade is going to take on the task of reading 50 Shades of Grey.
I will spend hours in Books A Million without walking outside
You-
with the book.
There's also that
You
possibility.
find a prominent spot and just keep locking eyes with people as you're reading it.
Out loud.
Oh, I wish the audio version by Gilbert Godfrey was
I
a
was
real
just
thing.
about to say.
All right. This is the quiet storm.
Okay.
There's actually apparently a grenade going off.
Oh.
I gotta have that on standby for something.
For all our
So
train
so
wrecks.
Z- so
Oh, you
Zayd
just use a train wreck.
so Zayd has his assignment. I get
Alright,
what?
I gotta read 50 Shades of...
50 Shades of Blah. Oh, Chris, what do you want? You want
I-
a movie, a TV show?
Well, I mean, I don't. Let's see. What do I really want to come home to after 8 hours of dishwashing?
The Room.
I own that.
Oh yeah, never mind. You'll love it.
I didn't say that.
We could spend an entire half hour talking about the
Oh,
room.
The Room. Which we should do sometime.
But it's
Yeah.
such easy cannon fodder though.
What? No, I just like, yeah, but it's just so much fun to talk about in a group. Just
Has that gotten the Mystery Science Theater treatment yet?
Well, they did Riff Tracks.
Oh, right,
Riff
yeah.
Tracks did do it, and I have
Okay.
that too. It's just,
Yeah.
That's right, we haven't listened to that one yet.
I know you won't sit down and watch Birdemic ever again.
No.
I hadn't watched the Riff Tracks version.
And even with the riff tracks, we were barely able to get through
you know,
it.
you were talking about something recently that was like nothing happened until like 45 minutes in. What was that?
God, what was it?
What low was it?
No.
Oh my God.
No, Low wasn't. Low. Now Low. It's not something I
It
would
was
rush
an
out.
all-time low.
It wasn't something I would rush out and recommend or see, but
Sorry, I'm falling behind.
yeah. But Low was not a bad movie, not by any.
No, it
not
wasn't a bad movie.
Just poorly done.
No, it was very well done. I appreciated everything that went into Low. It was very clearly a labor of love, and a lot of hard work and thought went into it.
It's just kind of the thing that became for me is like, not my cup of tea. But
No.
I was
Yeah.
impressed.
No, I recently watched Mad Max for the first time over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
And 30 years since it come out, I had an idea in my head, and this is actually why I started playing Borderlands 2, of what to expect from it. Didn't realize that when most people think of Mad Max, they think of Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
Yeah.
So I spent half the movie going, all right, when is Mel Gibson's wife and kid gonna get killed? Wow, we're an hour and a half into this movie, and he's not Mad Max yet. What the hell's going on?
Come on,
So
get
imagine
Mad
my
Max
surprise-
here.
Yeah, so imagine my surprise when he doesn't actually become Mad Max until the last 20 minutes of the film.
Uh-huh.
So what was it? What was you mentioned to me recently? You saw that was like 45 minutes. Took like 45 minutes for it to do something.
Oh, God, I don't know.
And it immediately made me think of Birdemic because in that movie, the movie is an hour and a half. The birds don't start attacking until
It's only
40.
an hour and a half?
Yeah,
Really?
It felt like forever.
Because I swear to God, it felt like 3 hours.
I know. I've seen it more than
You
once.
said it for 3 hours.
No,
But,
some...
but like I was saying, like Birdemic, it made me think of that because that is like the point. That like 45 minutes into the movie, halfway through, that's when birds start attacking.
Yeah.
And you were telling me, talking about like when action should start in a movie.
Or was it The Raid 2?
Oh, the Raid 2 is awful by itself.
Yeah, no, the Raid 2, I could also fill a half hour talking
Now,
about.
that was a fun experience watching that movie because I hadn't seen the first one, but you guys told me it was pulse pounding excitement from start to finish. So watching the movie with you guys and watching you slowly turn on the movie.
I'm going to take a moment out here to change the subject very briefly, and then we'll get back to talking about movies.
Okay.
I've just seen the headline, All Hail Volvatron, Guar's unlikely new front woman.
Oh.
Hey, yep, there's a picture of Guar's new front woman, Volvatron.
Okay.
Sorry,
Is that
had to sidetrack there for a second.
Is that what Megatron evolved into when
The new high priestess of the band is changing the face of metal. All right. No, going back to movies briefly. We only got a few minutes left. That can be and has been done very well. The slow burn.
Yeah.
I think of things like Once Upon a Time in the West or 2001, where you go a solid 10 or 15 minutes without even a single line of dialogue. It's all atmosphere and place setting, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are films like Birdemic, where it's just Mother of God, when is something going to happen in this movie?
And then things start happening, and then it's just like, oh,
and I wish they hadn't. I would have eaten my words there. But it is something that I've talked with other filmmakers and writers about. Is movies are very much like math problems. There's formulas that you have to follow, and from the advice that I've been given by other people and what I applied to Too Old to Die Young is your first act should be over by page 12. If not earlier than that. The inciting incident, the life-changing event, whatever you want to call it, needs to occur and it needs to affect your main character that early in the script. Any later and you risk losing people. So I think the first draft of Too Old, we'll call it the inciting incident because that's what I was taught, happened around like page 15. And that was out of a first draft that was only 52 pages. And now I think it happens on like page 8. I was having this conversation with Amy and Chris O'Neill last night, how much the script has changed since draft 1. Draft 1 was 52 pages and 5 scenes.
Yeah.
It was like setup, inciting incident, dialogue, denouement, or climax, denouement, script's over.
Yeah.
All within 52 pages. Now we're up to 93. So.
Were you setting out to write a full feature when you did it, or just
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I wanted to do a feature. I wanted to for a while. It's just I've never had an idea that could be done on a low budget with what's available to us. I see a lot of first-time filmmakers trying to overreach.
Right.
And that's something that we've spent a lot of time thinking about and talking about, myself in particular. An insane amount of time has been spent on what can I do. I'll have 1,000,001 ideas and I'll shoot them all down because I'll go, oh Christ, no, this movie is going to cost $50,000 or it's going to cost $100,000 or $1 million. So it was a matter of knowing our limitations and knowing how to
stick with the bare bones.
Yeah, knowing how to flex what we had instead of trying to get more.
Right, play to our strengths.
Yeah, thank you for saying that much better than I did.
It's fun watching you try. Just you just keep reaching out and grasping and.
All right, so we've got about 1.5 minutes left to go on this. So
I say let's just run over and we can edit it down.
Yeah.
Get in post.
I hope that this.
Not too bad though. I'm post.
Yeah. This is a big step for me. Is delegating something and letting go of something because this was your idea and I thought it was a good one. Handing this off to you is a big step for me, considering, and handing the camera off to you for the film, considering how hands-on I am.
I was just gonna say credit where it's due. Is like Zade was also very much one of the driving forces because it's like I talked to him about it and I thought, and we had an extended conversation about how great it would be, and then just finally is a week or so back I was just at work and And then I was like, okay, so if we want this to be a thing, I just broke it down immediately. It's like, okay, we have to have some sort of structure. It has to be something.
And I mean, like, it was really cool.
I mean, clearly, because you see how this is going so far.
Well, it was just really cool because, like, those nights when we would, like, go to trivia night and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We would, like, even after it was over, like, we would spend hours and hours just talking in the car.
Just hang out and riff on things and
Yeah.
just, talk about things together. And, so
Yeah.
So anyway, going way back to something we covered a bit ago.
That's how it's going to be, folks.
Yep.
We're going to bring something up and expect you to pay attention because we're going to bring it back later.
It's a test.
Yeah, it's just like all your favorite TV shows. Like, you got to pay attention.
It's like Lost in here.
I'm lost at least. Yeah, so Zade got his assignment. What is mine going to be? Is that going to be the joke? Is it
Your
just...
assignment is to find more annoying sounds to play after
and then
certain
wait
quotables.
and then wait 10 seconds when I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Well, because I always forget to do it when you actually...
That should be our character.
And-
It's like
and
Jimmy,
thankfully-
the interrupting drummer.
Yeah, thankfully he knows how much I love being interrupted.
Yeah, exactly.
So I need my assignment, I guess, to...
I think this is something we've talked about before. I kind of want you to watch the first season of Lost.
No.
Now that we've brought it
No.
up.
There we go.
No.
There, see? He wouldn't do it, so he should totally do it.
Oh, is there anything else? I'll do that one. Can we?
It's either that or Breaking Bad. Yep, there are your options. I want you to watch Lost or Breaking Bad.
Zade?
What?
I mean, you have a say in this too. Is there anything you would suggest instead, or?
I would.
Well, I think the first season of Lost is like 24 episodes long. The first season of Breaking Bad is only 6 episodes. So watch the first 6 episodes of Lost or the first season of Breaking Bad. Which would you prefer? 6 episodes of Lost or 6 episodes of Breaking Bad?
Okay. Oh God,
I didn't realize this was going to be such a hard decision for you. We threw 50 Shades of Grey.
I was like, yeah, okay, I'll read the book about happy happies.
Well, it's just you pick 2 things. I have.
That are outside your comfort zone.
That's the point.
It's not. Yeah.
This was your idea.
I know, and that's double-edged swords. Oh.
There you go.
No, it's just it's Sophie's choice between a shit sandwich and a bigger shit sandwich.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. Are we allowed to curse in this podcast?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't care. Our parents might, but
Duty.
No, I mean I loved one and hated the other.
Wow.
I loved one as much as I hated the other. I thought Lost was great, and I thought Breaking Bad was
overdone.
Yeah, I thought
So
Breaking Bad was
both-
one of the most overrated fiction products of the last 100 years.
We'll get into that later. But so they're both.
Oh, so you are gonna watch it?
No, they're both like an hour long, right?
Yeah. So 6 hours of Lost or 6 hours of Breaking Bad.
Oh.
6
Now
hours.
this feels exactly like homework. Oh.
6 lost hours.
You have a coin? I might just flip a coin to decide this.
Here, flip a card.
Flip a business card.
Dude, Long Walk Productions.
No, this is
cards.
sad. We have no change in here at all.
Oh wait. Well, okay. In the meantime, I will.
Good Lord, make a decision.
I will. We have to pick something for you
Do
too.
eeny meeny.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What?
No, I was just. We have to pick something for Dave too.
Oh, we have to pick something for Dave.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I. Oh.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm. Okay, I will watch Lost.
Okay.
I will watch
okay.
Lost because I know you like that, so we'll have more to discuss if I don't like that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. None of us are going to argue with you if you end up hating 50 Shades.
Right.
I may argue with you if you end up hating Lost.
Because if I pick Breaking Bad and I don't like it, which I probably at the very least I probably wouldn't be interested in it. Is like that'll just be like, oh yeah, I agree. The end.
Yeah.
So I will. I might need. Do you have it?
Lost?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix.
I thought you did.
No, I had it for that month and I didn't renew it.
Oh, all right.
This is the pirate.
I might.
I'll give you the password to mine and you can watch it.
That's okay. I will just.
Or hell, we can watch it together. Oh wait, I still have my thing to do. Hold
Can you
on.
hold my hand?
No,
All right, so we've got a book and we got a TV show.
Alright, what's
I guess.
another
I guess.
medium?
We don't have to switch medium each time. It can all be the same medium.
Well, that's
I think.
true.
But may as well go with movie for you.
All right, throw something out there.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, oh, that's a hurtful one.
That's not hurtful.
I
I
know-
know.
hold on, let
I
me-
know.
Hold on.
Now hold on.
That's by the guy that looks at a dollhouse all day, right?
Wes Anderson.
Wes
yeah,
Anderson,
it's a Wes Anderson movie. Now,
All the shots are like. Oh, God.
now I picked it. I picked it. I picked it for a couple of reasons, none of which are petty and vindictive on the surface. I know, like you and I share a mutual dislike for Wes Anderson. But again,
I think out of everything that happened in this podcast, that's what I'm going to get flack about, is not liking Wes Anderson.
people like what they like, and it's just you can argue with them about it, but at the same time, you can't. There are some things that are universally beloved classics that people still hate.
Right.
Like on
Which I found recently a series like that. The public radio show I was talking to Zade about Wits. They also have a segment they started doing called Amazon Review Theater, where they have different comedians read 1-star reviews of what are generally considered to be universally beloved things.
Oh.
And they're wonderful. Like Paul F. Tompkins read a 1-star review of Goodnight Moon.
Alright.
Yeah, so stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, people can hate things you wouldn't expect people to hate, but I was like, I picked that because one, I'm sure I'll get a Wes Anderson film at some point, especially now that I've assigned one to you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a curse.
Two, it's like, I mean, this is his latest one. Maybe he's.
Well, Katie wanted to see it too.
Okay,
so.
well, maybe he's refined himself somewhat. I mean, I will say
now.
a lot. I saw some of his earlier stuff, and I wasn't impressed because it was just so. He was just so very
It was so
precious about it. You know?
or hipster about it.
Yeah, very much.
By the way, I just discovered this website has multiple instant sound effects.
Could you just stop waving your cock around for 1 minute?
This is what you have to look forward to, folks.
Oh, that's what you hear on the way into South Carolina.
But first, it's like meth lab, church, meth lab.
Ah, yes, the classics.
Yeah.
But as like, yeah, so like maybe he's gotten better. I mean, I told you a while ago, like the trailer to Grand Budapest Hotel had the first instance of something intentionally making me laugh in a Wes Anderson film, which was amazing for me because every time I've seen his stuff, it's just like, what is this? It's
Yeah.
so I think maybe he's getting better. Maybe I know you like one of his movies. And
Yeah,
that's the Life Aquatic.
with Steve Zissou. That's a great movie.
And you know what that is. You know what makes me realize is like that's the one he's done that's most different from his other movies so far. I think without having seen Grand Budapest Hotel, so I was like the other ones are about like weird hipsterish family dramedies.
Yeah, I think it's the hipster aspect of them that really kill me.
But the Life Aquatic is a man loses his friend and partner in aquatic research to this animal. What did it?
It's a made-up shark.
A made-up shark. So he decides to just go get revenge.
Yeah.
It's basically a movie dick.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I think that works, and I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Unlike the Royal Tenenbaums, which is
that's another beloved classic that I've never been able to get behind.
which
like
is
Bottle Rocket, another beloved classic I've never been able to get behind.
Or
I still haven't. I never saw the Darjeeling
Express, Darjeeling Express, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was limited.
Or that.
Yeah, whatever. Because at that point I had
My
sworn
interest
off
is
Wes.
limited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at that point I had sworn off Wes Anderson. It was kind of like M. Night Shyamalan to me. It has exactly one movie out of his library that I actually like.
Yeah.
And for me, that movie isn't The Sixth Sense like everyone else, because I thought The Sixth Sense was every bit as trite as the rest of his movies. To me, it's Unbreakable.
Yes.
Yes, Unbreakable
Yes.
is very good.
Because I mean, I think generally we three share a love of superheroes and comics.
Yeah.
And it's very much and that would be a very much an award-winning comic if it had come out in graphic novel form. It'd be a very good graphic novel. Exploring the interesting, it's a very, very much one of the most realistic takes on superheroes that I've ever seen. Like even more so than Nolan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I kind of like Signs. That was pretty good.
Oh God! Don't get.
What?
We keep talking
Oh.
about things I could fill up a half hour talking
Oh.
about.
Oh.
Just get me going on
Save
Breaking
it for the
Bad.
podcast. Save it for the podcast.
Yeah, just get me going on Breaking Bad, The Raid, and Signs. Signs made me want to punch a newborn baby in the face.
Oh.
Just made you want to swing away, huh, Meryl?
Oh. Hold on, where's my lighter? Oh, hold on, I don't need a lighter. I have a knife.
Oh.
No, that's not a that's
All right,
not a
so-
that's not a foreign sound to me.
Yeah, no, that wasn't even a sound effect either. I just pulled a knife on one of my best friends.
It's okay.
You're in for a ride, folks. All right, so let's wind it down here. We all have our assignments. Zaid is going to
50 Shades
read
of Meh.
50 Shades of Meh. Chris is going to watch.
I'm going to watch the first 6 episodes of Lost, which I don't regret, but I both rue and lament it.
Yes, and I am going to watch The Grand Budapest Hotel. Which, out of the 3 of us, I think this one, that's the thing that I actually have the biggest chance of possibly enjoying.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure you're going to hate 50 Shades, and I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to get into Lost.
I don't know. I think at some point you're just gonna be annoyed by it, or you're probably just gonna start laughing your ass off.
Yeah.
Because we all know it's a fact. It's out there. It started out as Twilight fan fiction.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that.
It started out about Twilight fan fiction about the Bella and Edward in some sort of BDSM relationship. Which it's already
Isn't that-
it's already a vampire and a regular woman. Why do you keep needing to add levels to this?
Well, emotional abuse wasn't enough, I
Oh,
guess.
of course.
Yeah.
I've had the misfortune of seeing the Twilight films.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it yet, but I'm still.
Well, my
waiting
mom
for it.
loves them, and I love my mom, so, you know, what am I going to
It's
do?
by association.
I would
Yeah.
do anything for love, and sadly it includes that.
Okay, Meatloaf.
All right, folks. Well, we're going to sign off for now. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll tune back in 2 weeks for our next podcast when we'll give you our opinions on 50 Shades of Grey, Lost, and the Grand Budapest Hotel. I'm David Hensley.
I'm Zade Patterson.
I'm Chris Rinehart.
We're Long Walk Productions, and we'll talk to you again in a few weeks.
Bye.